She is not powerful because she is fast. She is fast because nothing in her has to ask permission. She enters Bleach like an answer that has already moved. The flash step, the lightning, the impossible confidence. All of it tells us she is faster than the room can process. That is why speed became the label people put on her. But speed is only the visible result. A fast fighter can still be reckless, dependent, or lost the second a plan breaks. She is none of those things. Her movement looks effortless because her judgment arrives first. She sees the opening, owns the risk, and commits before anyone else has finished asking what the rules allow. The real question is not how fast she is. It is why she never seems trapped by the world around her. That is the difference between spectacle and command. Her speed does not excuse the choice. It proves how quickly conviction can become protection. It is a discipline that turns urgency into calm action. She was not born outside the system. She stood near its center with rank, lineage, expectation, and a future already written for her. Walking away was not a refusal of responsibility. It was a refusal to let a title decide what responsibility meant. That distinction matters. Plenty of characters reject authority because they cannot carry it. She leaves a formal seat, then keeps carrying the consequences when it costs her comfort, safety, and recognition. Her autonomy is not freedom from duty. It is the decision to choose duty for herself. That is harder than obeying a structure, because no badge will rescue you when the choice goes wrong. Leaving rank did not make the burden disappear. It exposed the person willing to carry it without applause, cover, or a formal promise of safety. No title or rank can give that choice its meaning. Her mastery is never just a list of techniques. She can fight at a level that shocks people. But the important part is how she teaches, adapts, and reads the moment. She does not need a crowd to confirm that she understands the field. She changes approach when force is not enough, turns pressure into instruction, and makes a difficult idea feel possible before the learner believes it. That is why her confidence does not feel empty. It comes from practice, not posture. Speed is the spectacle. Mastery is the reason the spectacle works. When she moves, every decision inside that movement has already been earned. That is what mastery changes. The people around her do not merely witness force. They leave with more range, more courage, and better judgment. That kind of power outlasts a single victory. She does not need to sit at the head of a room to change where the room goes. She leads by making the next honest move visible. When others freeze, she gives direction. When someone is weaker, she raises the standard without pretending the danger is small. When the old hierarchy cannot act quickly enough, she acts and accepts the burden of being wrong. That is leadership without formal rank. It is not charisma for its own sake. It is responsibility made practical. Her authority is trusted because it is demonstrated, not announced. The people around her do not follow a title. They follow the person who has repeatedly shown that she can see the cost, make the call, and remain present afterward. That is leadership in its clearest form. She makes action possible for everyone else, then stays close enough to answer for the result. Trust follows because her judgment is visible before her rank is. There is a shallow version of independence that treats needing nobody as strength. She is more interesting than that. She chooses her own path, but she keeps relationships, trains allies, and returns when people need her. Her autonomy makes connection more meaningful because it is never forced by rank or obligation. She can leave, which means staying is a decision. She can lead, which means teaching is a gift rather than a command. This is where the speed myth breaks completely. Fast is solitary. Leadership is relational. The deeper power in her is that she can move freely without abandoning the people who cannot move as freely as she can. Her freedom is credible because it makes room for others. She does not outrun connection. She chooses it, protects it, and returns to it. That is why independence becomes a form of care. Her most revealing quality is not that she can win. It is that she acts before permission arrives, when waiting would make the outcome worse. That can look casual from the outside, because she carries it with a smile. But the lightness is not indifference. It is control. She understands that power without responsibility becomes vanity, and responsibility without autonomy becomes obedience. Her answer is to take both. She makes the call, does the work, protects the people inside the blast radius, and refuses the comfort of saying someone higher up should have decided. That is not a lesson about breaking rules for applause. It is a lesson about earning the judgment to know when rules have stopped serving the people they were meant to protect. The point is not rebellion. It is discernment. She acts when responsibility requires movement, then accepts the cost of acting without borrowed authority. That is the responsibility hidden inside her confidence. Her speed is unforgettable because it gives her power a shape we can see. Lightning, motion, the instant she is suddenly somewhere nobody expected. But the speed is not the verdict. The verdict is mastery that does not need applause, autonomy that does not dodge responsibility, and leadership that does not wait for a title. She is powerful because she can leave rank behind without leaving duty behind. She can move first without making everyone else smaller. And she can lead without needing the room to call her leader. That is why she lasts in the memory. Not because she outruns everyone, because she shows what power looks like when it belongs to someone who knows exactly what it is for. That is the legacy worth remembering. Not a blur across the screen, but a person whose freedom makes everyone around her more capable. That is why the lesson survives after the speed is gone. Her real power is self-directed responsibility. Speed is only the proof that she can act on it. Like, subscribe, and tell us who should enter the character vault next.